Welcome to another edition of the OL Assembly. We are in the month of July and we've got a theme this month called Ooty Outing. So welcome to the Ooty Outing special. My name is Karishma Sushil Kumar. I'm from the batch of 2005 and here are my co-hosts.
Good evening, Karishma. Nice to be back in this OL Assembly and what a theme to be the outing special. My name is Vinod. I'm from the batch of 96, Aravalli. So nice to be back here. And as you all know, every month we have a guest host that comes on. So this month, in line with that, we have Ashrafi from the batch of 89. Good evening, Ashrafi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, Karishma. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you're watching this from. I am the guest host, and my name is Ashrafi Danjiboy from the batch of 88, Champak House. And I am so looking forward to this show. I think it's close to all our hearts. It's an Ooty outing special. Who hasn't enjoyed their outings in school? So welcome, guys and girls. Let's have a fantastic show.
And we're all reporting live from very special places in Ooty. For example, I'm reporting live from Kuranji's. Wink, wink, of course. How about you guys?
I'm reporting live from assembly rooms. I'm sure everyone remembers assembly rooms. That's where I am.
I am reporting live from none other than Shinkaus, my very favorite place in the Nilgiris.
Lovely. So let's get started, guys. As always, we'll have somebody from the OLA committee join us to help open up the show, say a few words, and get us going. We have up this time Tini Kora from the batch of 1990. He is the secretary of the OLA committee. Over to you, Tini. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tini Kora, batch of 90, Sumeru House. As Karishma mentioned, I'm the secretary of the OLA. I'm very happy to be here with you all for this OL Assembly. I'm glad that OL Nation and OL Assembly, organized by the OLA committee, with the support and backing of a number of OLs, have become very successful events. It's an excellent forum for us OLs to be connected in these difficult times. Now, on a somber note, I regret to inform you that one of our former teachers, Mrs. Malini Giri, passed away on 8th July. Our deepest condolences to her family and loved ones. May her soul rest in peace. By the way, my son John is in the 11th standard in Lawrence School. But of course, as most of the kids of his generation, he's stuck at home with, studying from home. And being a parent in an OL and also resident of Nilgiris, I get the opportunity. I'm lucky to get the opportunity to visit school more often than many of the others would be able to. So that's one really nice thing about being local and being a parent and also being involved in the OLA. Regarding, I know that this session is about outings. There are two things that that I always think of when I think of school outings. The first is that we used to, I don't know if you all remember, we had this rickety old Bedford bus, and this bus wouldn't actually go over the hill, the highest point in the road after Lovedale Station before we connect with the Ooty Road. So all of us, pretty much all malnourished kids had to get off the bus. Then the bus would go over the hill, and we'd have to walk over and then get back on the bus once we were on the other side of the hill. And that's pretty funny, and I still remember those incidents. Maybe not all of us, but they would at least offload half the bus, so the engine would pull up the slope. That, and the second thing I remember is that nice little lunch they used to pack for us. 2 or 3 puris, some potato, a sweet lime, and they gave us $5 along with it, and of course the ticket to assembly rooms, right, the theater. So we would go watch the movie, have our lunch there, and then figure out how to spend our 5 rupees, right? Which wasn't much even in those days. So some of us would go to King Star or Moderns and get chocolates or the cakes that were famous at that time, jab cake, log cake, which we used to buy for the house parties in the dormitories, in the houses rather. And my personal favorite is I used to go to Blue Hills, and they have this nice what we call Vich Paratha or Ceylon Paratha. And I guess 5 rupees wouldn't be enough to buy the a chicken curry, so they used to give us the free gravy, and you pay for the parathas and get the free gravy. So whenever even now I go to Blue Hills and I make sure that I eat one of those beach parathas. But of course now the difference is I can actually afford the chicken curry. I don't have to get the free gravy. But otherwise, yeah, it's as tasty and brings back a lot of old memories. So before I sign off, I would like to thank all the OLs who put numerous hours behind the scenes to make these events happen, and make it a resounding success. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart, from me, from the committee, and I'm sure from all the OLs who have participated and who have been seeing these events. Thank you all once again. Karishma, back to you.
Thank you, Ginny. Thank you so much for reminiscing so much of those memories of Ooty. We all have so much of memories of outing, and so thanks so much for sharing that, and thank you for sharing the blessings from the OL committee. So next up, generally we have the HM, but unfortunately he's away on vacation, so he's not able to join us today. But we know we always have his love and blessings, and he's always been through all our editions, right? So moving on, right? What what better way to start the outing edition other than OLs reminiscing their memories about going to Ooty on outings, right? So we have put a set of questions across, and we've compiled this in 3 different parts for you, for all of you today, and we will play that through different times in this segment. The first segment is where OLs answer questions on what is a tradition that they would like to follow if they go back to Ooty now. So let's sit back and enjoy that fun.
An Ooty tradition you have to follow when you go back.
A great tradition during our school days was the house trips to Ooty, mainly to see movies, but occasionally for a picnic to the Ooty Lake or Botanical Gardens.
But I'd say the best for me is to take a drive down to Charmaj Estate, have a nice hot lemon tea at the Charmaj Tea Centre, and then drive back. In those days it was buy chocolates from Kingstar, which is now no longer there as Kingstar. So now I think it's Modern Stores Chocolates. Then probably just visit the outskirts of Ooty, the many forests and the many, nature. Yeah, probably head to Chinko's, head to Willie's. It's all about food, I know, but those are nice places, I guess, for nostalgia and memory.
Buy homemade chocolate from Kingstar.
Tradition I follow, Shink House for sure. Every time I've gone up, more or less it's almost 100%. I go have a meal in Shink House for sure.
Okay, that went off to a good start. Places that you would like to visit once you're back in the Nilgiris, or back for founders. Of course, I would love to visit Kurunji's, Shinkau's, Archie's, and so many other places. So thank you all for taking the time to share that with us. And now we have something very special. Despite there being no founders, we have the batch of 71 reminiscing about their times, and we have this beautiful poem by Meera. Okay, that went off to a good start. Places that you would like to visit once you're back in the Nilgiris, or back for founders. Of course, I would love to visit Kurunji's, Shinkau's, Archie's, and so many other places. So thank you all for taking the time to share that with us. And now we have something very special. Despite there being no founders, we have the batch of 71 reminiscing about their times, and we have this beautiful poem by Meera.
awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami ilondoloze 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 zungangishilana ilondoloze 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 zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami
Hi, this is Arjun Devecha, coming to you from Berkeley, California. I'm class of 71 out of Ali House, and I'm really looking forward to our 50th reunion later this year, hopefully, assuming it all happens. Why am I looking forward to it? I'm looking forward to it because in many ways what has happened over the years is that our class has really kind of gelled together as a community. I still remember when we first went for our 10th or 15th or 25th reunions, there was kind of jockeying for position. It was like, well, how well has this person succeeded or that person succeeded and things like that. And there was a lot of that. But as we've got older and now we're all kind of in our 60s, our bulk of our careers are behind us. It's much more about the human relationships. It's much more about the relationships between all of us. And that's really what I'm looking forward to. And I've really enjoyed. And interestingly enough, it's been kind of WhatsApp that has made that happen, because we kind of share messages every single day on WhatsApp, which I'm sure that's true for everybody else as well. Anyway, looking forward to seeing everybody. Bye.
50 years and going strong. Once again down those corridors of old, those whispered giggles and gossips hold, footfall echoing on stone-paved floors, palms moving across the roughened wall, speak stories of days gone by, quicken steps to the bell call. Class tests, games, school prom, and outings, memories that last us all lifelong, verses infused in the pride of the lilting school song. A pause by the door, the grand large hall resonating with a hum, as we bond in nostalgia, recollecting hymns sung, remembering an echo of each day, we gather as a class once more to reminisce the joys of years before. Some have departed and gone God's way. We ne'er forget to celebrate their memory as we stand to pray. So we join our hands in honor of a lifelong bond as we silently dwell on that empty chair of those who passed along, remembering with a sadness those we held dear as we gather again this year. From the time we put the last full stop on our exam papers, 50 years, half a century gone, when luggage packed, whooped a hooray and headed back home. Farewell hugs and some tears, then on to our famed Lovedale train. Now Alumni recalls those good old days and we're headed back again. So let's get ready to wine and dine as we move to set a date to celebrate the 50 years. All other things can wait. For been through it all and back once more, knocking on the old school door. The heart still has the pep of youth. Let's dance the night away. Can't believe it's 50 years, now again down the road, heading back to our old abode of schoolyard trysts and classroom pranks and feet. Few coins jingling in pockets for our tuck shop treat. We wore with pride every color, khaki jacket, shorts, maroon cardigans, grey skirts and ceremonial blues against the majestic red brick and structured hues of Lawrence School, Lovedale.
You gotta give it up to the spirit of never give in, despite the circumstances. We've got the batch of 71 putting this together. Thank you all so much for putting in that effort. It clearly showed, and we're so glad we could partake in those celebrations with you. Thank you for sharing your reunion with us. Up next, guys, is a good old standard OL assembly segment. It's called Glimpses of a Glorious Past. If you're tuning in for the first time, this segment entails a little bit of going down way past memory lane, certainly into history. It's an informal endeavor to put together a history of the school and into an ebook, which is available on the website. So it's an ongoing endeavor, and there are chapters in it. Now, what we will be doing this month is showcasing to you a little bit, if you could call it a sequel to last month. If you tuned in, we talked about Reverend Badfield. So this episode also features Reverend Badfield, who was a distinguished principal of the school between the years 1908 to 1932. longest serving principal. Now, here's a fun fact I want to share with you before we get into it. One of his pupils, her name was Eileen Patricia Wildman, née McGeehan, was alive when Glimpses was first published in 2017. Um, Now, Eileen was born in 1912 and was one of 11 McGinn siblings who studied in Lovedale. Now, she was for long the longest living OL and passed away at the ripe old age of 105. Guys, if you've sung that birthday song where we say, "May you live to be 103," well, Patsy, as she was also called, surpassed all of that. And she was in Australia at the time. Well, talk about never give in, am I right? Um, have a look at this episode of Glimpses of a Glorious Past.
In the last episode, we traced the influence of Reverend W.H.G. Padfield in his first decade as principal of the Lawrence Asylum, which later became the Lawrence Memorial School in 1913. In this episode, we shall cover the second decade of his leadership up until his retirement in 1932. This period saw improvements in the school infrastructure, the strengthening of the curriculum, the addition of different extracurricular activities, the school being awarded the King's Colours, and getting a prestigious distinction of being designated a Royal Military School. We'll also hear what Mr. Yates, headmaster in 1937, wrote about Mr. Padfield in the Laurentian. From 1918 till 1932, under the benevolent eye of Reverend Padfield, Lovedale saw considerable change, both in terms of physical and sociological environment. The new chapel added a serene touch to the growing campus, which saw the addition of space and facilities in the hospital, introduction of hot water showers in the boys' school, the establishment of a reading and recreation room for the staff, as well as a gymnasium for all. In 1921, for the first time, a separate preparatory branch for children below the age of 9 was opened in the newly built prep school. We now know this building as Girls' School, or Red Fort, is popular jargon. The Girls' School was expanded in 1926, and the plaque for this still stands today in the present prep school. The tower in the main school building was made complete with the installation of the clock by Barton & Co. of London in 1929. Generations of Laurentians have since gotten used to hearing the chime every hour, echoing over the hills and playing fields. Reverend Padfield gave equal importance to the personality development of his wards. A junior cadet corps was started which later merged with the Nilgiri Rifle Volunteers. Students shone in rifle shooting, with the school winning the prestigious annual Imperial Challenge rifle shooting competition for the Lord Milner Cup in 1919. But it was not only about brawn. Padfield introduced a literary and debating society where students pitted their wits in debates and acted in plays. This supplemented the opportunity to show off their creative and writing skills in the Laurentian. The school magazine started in 1911 with an annual subscription of rupees 1. He encouraged the formation of the Old Laurentians Club, distant predecessor to our present OLA. The practice of having houses followed in British public schools was introduced to Lovedale by him. The boys' and girls' schools had their own houses with housemasters and housemistresses. Classes in telegraphy became very popular as many students graduated into jobs in this field all over India. Urdu was also introduced by Padfield because he believed that the knowledge of at least one Indian language would be important to his pupils. An improvement of school in general and in its military orientation in particular was reflected by its being honoured the King's Colours in 1921 by His Royal Highness the Duke of Connaught and Strathern. His Royal Highness consented to become the royal patron of the school in 1923. 2 years later, in 1925, the crowning glory of Padfield's era came with the school being designated a Royal Military School, only the fourth in the British Empire to get this distinction. The King's Honours, announced on January 1, 1927, saw him awarded with the Kaiser-e-Hind Medal of the First Class for public services in India. In 1932, the Old Laurentians contributed to make a war memorial in the new chapel in memory of their schoolmates who died in battle during the First World War. That year, Reverend Padfield retired from services and returned to England to become the rector of Shillingston in Dorset. He passed away on December 17, 1936, deeply mourned by thousands whose lives he touched during his lifetime.
Mr. A.D. Yates, the headmaster, wrote in memory of Reverend Padfield in the Laurentian in 1937. Many an observation of his will linger in the mind for its vivid wit. For wit and humour he had in plenty, and a manner and delivery specially telling. I recall him once remarking that whatever success had come his way, he had achieved through his first making up his mind what he wanted and then steadily going towards his goal. These qualities Mr. Padfield had in abundance, and maybe it was these that marked him off from the common man. Whatever society he happened to be, he invariably took the lead. He was a born leader, and those who served him were happy and proud to be led by him. He was generous and indulgent to those younger and less experienced than himself, never lecturing but giving a kindly hint where required. If any proof of his altruism were wanting, it might be mentioned that once, when pressed to accept a large increased salary by those who appreciated his worth, he refused it and asked that instead the money be utilized to increase the salaries of his assistants. He would always bear full responsibility for anything that happened to go amiss, but if there were any credit, he would eagerly share it with his colleagues.
The Lovedale he left in 1932 was a far improved and better place than it was when he first became head in 1908. Even to this day, no person has served as head as long as Rev. W.H.G. Padfield. We respectfully pay homage to his memory. And with that, we come to an end of this month's episode of Glimpses of a Glorious Past. Thank you.
Wasn't that just awesome? A glimpse in the past. And what a career spanning nearly 3 decades of this man. Very interesting. Thank you for putting that together. And yeah, who can forget that sound of that clock tower? It lives with us in our memories, right? Fantastic segment, well put together. Now, our next segment brings us again to some old laws reminiscing about their Ooty outings, where they preferred to go, how they preferred to go. So please do enjoy.
What were Ooty outing experiences like?
We all look forward to these trips, which were usually once a month or so, depending on the house that you were in. The movies were always at the assembly rooms, and the only exception I can remember was the Hindi movie Dosti, which was in another cinema. Assembly rooms also had a good cafeteria, and the mutton curry and rice was fantastic. Invariably, after the movie, we visited the adjacent modern cafe, which many of you would remember, for a masala dosa, which cost only 25 paise then. That dosa gave us all enough energy and strength to walk back to Lovedale, although occasionally we thumbed a lift back. There was one more Ooty trip that I always looked forward to. That usually occurred once a term and was with the horse riding group. Usually 4 or 5 of us on horseback, under the supervision of our riding instructor, then Mr. Singh. And we approached Ooty on our horses up a flight of terrace steps just after Lovedale station that led us into Fernhill. We did a round of the Ooty Lake and then ended in the commercial market, which housed the famous Spencer's store. In the market, we sometimes bought tops or marbles according to the season.
The week leading to the outing was filled with excitement. We would make extensive lists of what to eat and buy from Ooty. I'd say that every minute of it was well thought of and planned for D-Day. I remember that the drop-off point was Archie's, where we had to buy the world's most delicious rolls. This precious roll was divided amongst 4 or 5 of us, as it was a substantial part of our pocket.
We would hire cycles, cycle all over Ooty, and Chinese food, and we would end it with assemblies. And of course, during a break in assemblies, you would go and have those beetroot samosas.
I still remember getting about between 100 to 150 rupees. I think there was 120. And we used to either hitch a ride or take the bus if we got lucky, or sometimes even walk all the way to Ooty. And we then probably head to Abad for like chili chicken biryani for like 25 rupees, 40 bucks. And then probably some of them used to go to the gaming parlor and get some and like play some games. People used to go to Vibes and get tattoos and these chains, and because that was cool in those days. And I think it's still cool for some people right now, but yeah. And I still remember looking at, we used to watch guys who had girlfriends pick up Lind. In those days it was like 110 or 100 or maybe 100, and have just like 20 rupees or 10 rupees to like survive the entire outing. So yeah, it was fun.
These compilations are really helping me just think about what it was like. I have to be honest, I've sort of forgotten what it was like. So thank you all for participating once again. Up next, guys, we have an old standard, the Quizdale segment. And this is where, OL quizzes come together and we get asked questions, everything related to school, slang, people, places. It's a whole ball of fun. Now we keep score of the different houses. When you play and you win, you contribute points to your house. So let's have a look at the June leaderboard. You can see that, folks, Vindhya was in the lead. Of course, notice the negative scorings. So Quizdale is not all fun, evidently. Now, guys, this is a call to action. Participate, bring your house some glory, and you'll have some fun as well. But as we get into July, folks, I do want to call out, you'll hear it in the segment, of course, but I do want to call out that the sponsor for the segment is Stefanos Ipin from the batch of 1970. Now, what does sponsorship even mean? Winners and participants get little tokens of appreciation that come from our store. And so OLs are stepping up to sponsor that. So thank you so much. Stefanos Epin, for your contribution this month. All right, let's have a look at how July went.
Hello and welcome to July's Quizdale. I'm your host and quiz master, Udipan Sen. I'm from the class of 2016 and Vindhya House. So today's episode is sponsored by Stefanos Epin, batch of 1970. Stefanos is an architect and, in his words, is based everywhere. His work includes sustainable projects all over the world in various sectors like infrastructure, transportation, and academics, both government and private. Extremely creditable. Well, you will be happy to know that all participants will today will win an OLA pin and a T-shirt, and I think Koshi has many T-shirts already. So hopefully somebody else gets what the winner gets. My co-host is Nataraj Kaushik from the batch of 1985. Over to you, Nati.
Thanks, Udi. Hi, everybody. Welcome, and it's great to see you. This quiz game is in the style of Jeopardy. There's a board with topics across the top. Each topic has 3 clues of increasing difficulty in its column. Of course, the harder the question, the greater the points. The clue is in the form of an answer, and your answer needs to be in the form of a question. Have lots of fun and all the best. Remember, you're also playing for your houses. Let's begin with introductions of yourselves with your name, batch, and a favorite memory from school. We'll start with our returning champion, the one we call Hat-Trick Koshi. Koshi, please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Koshi Varghese, Vindhya House, batch 1980. And my favorite memory, my sporting memory, was when we had this habit of, there was a system whereby cricket matches started just after lunch, and those who represented school were allowed to get up from class, excuse yourself, and go out to change. And it was a great thing because they can look back at you and say, "Oh wow, you're playing for school." So that was my favorite memory. Thanks.
Thanks, Koshi. Anuja, can we have your introduction?
Yeah,
please?
sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Anuja. I'm batch of 2013 and I was in Aravali House. So as far as favorite memories go, it is the time when my batch was called back early to school for the 12th standard, like the board preparation. So we had the entire school to ourselves, and it was only my batch, and it was a lot of fun. And that's where I had my most lovely memories, actually.
Thanks, Anuja. Bowman, do you want to go?
Yeah, hi everyone. I am Bowman from the batch of 93, Sumeru. I'm based now in Bombay. And my favorite memory of school was those 4 days or 5 days when you moved up from the 11th to the 12th. And you were literally kings of the castle. No house master to tell you what to do. Your 12th standard is all gone. And you could, smilingly wish them all the best and ask them to FO as they were leaving. And then 4 days you had no responsibilities, but just strut around with one hand in your pocket and one hand in your battle jacket.
Thanks, Bowman. That is awesome. Muthu, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Muthu Velappan, called Muthu, 74 batch, Nilgiri House. My, not a favorite, but I can just tell you a memory just offhand. When we were on the ninth, we were all called pizzas. And on Saturday nights, 3 of us were given camouflage jackets and some cash. We had to trek to Ooty via those stone steps near Pine Forest and buy dope for our seniors. And we were back by about 2 o'clock after seeing a late night show in the ATC theater.
This is being recorded, right?
Yeah. You wanted a memory, so I'm just giving a memory.
Awesome. Thanks, Muthu.
Awesome.
Back to you, Udi.
All right. So nice. So fun memories. All right. So I'm going to again quickly explain for the participants as well as the audience how this game is played. You will each take turns to answer a question. You choose the question for yourself by picking a panel on the board. You have 15 seconds to answer. Nati will keep time. The first answer you give will be considered the final answer, but I'm going to give you a little leeway if you answer well within 15 seconds. You can give it another shot. But my decision is final, and points will be added to your score for a correct answer. Points will be deducted for an incorrect answer or if you fail to answer. The participants who has the most points at the end of the game is the winner, obviously. And points that you score are also are added to your running total of the house. So keep that in mind. You are fighting for supremacy. Once the participants have, also this is a recent introduction. Once any participant has won 5 Quizdales, he or she retires as a Quizdale Grandmaster to let a new batch of talent come in. Obviously, very own Koshi Burgis is very, very close to that. Anyways, all right. So, and with that, let us get started. Nati, is your timer ready? So, let's get started. Koshi, pick your pile.
Okay, 200 places, please.
All right. A splash of blue amidst the green.
What is Ooty Lake?
Wow. Not bad. Of course.
Wow.
That was quick. All right.
Yeah.
So that's 200 Koshi. Do you have a Nuja?
Okay, I'll go for food, 100.
Chocolates fit for royalty.
What is icing?
Sorry?
I mean, the chocolate, what is chocolate icing?
You have to, you've got some time. You have to think from the perspective of the outing.
Oh, what is homemade chocolates?
Hey, time.
Come on. Oh, damn.
I'm sorry.
Instant chocolates.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't go for the
It's
name.
okay. It's just minus 100. That's all right. You can catch up.
Okay.
All right. Next, Muthu, please pick your topic and tile.
Places, 100.
Places, 100. Flower show is held here.
What is Botanical Garden?
Well done. Woohoo! We're close. Good one. All right, Baman, your turn.
Okay, I'll try For Your Eyes Only 100.
Okay, I'm gonna show you another screen. Yes. So you have to name the green patch over here. What is that?
What is the race course?
Oh, well done. Whoa, that was quick. I was hoping this would be tougher. Damn it. Okay. So that's one thing. I'll just go back to the window. Yeah. So that you said 100, right?
No, I think 300.
All right. What is race course? Well done. Okie dokie. Now we're back. Oh, now we will go back to Baman. Baman, your turn.
Oh, okay. Food 200, please.
Food 200. Okay. Rising Sun Confectionery. What do you relate this to? Where do you think this comes from? What comes to mind?
What is Japanese sweets?
Oh, that's pretty close. I think I will give that to you. It's what are Jap cakes?
Right.
Okay. I think. What do you think, Nati? Is that close enough?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good. Not bad.
Oh,
All right. Muthu, your turn.
Places, 300.
Big one. Most happening road in town.
What is commercial street?
Do you want to rethink the terminology? Because here we have to be a little specific.
Okay. Okay, well, what is Charing Cross?
Okay, you said commercial street.
I said
but
commercial street.
It's commercial road because commercial street is the one in Bangalore.
Okay, commercial road.
Are we giving this Nati? I think in the spirit of the game, other participants, do you think he was close enough?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Not at
All
all.
right.
Oh,
And we all love it. Everybody loves a good sport. Fantastic. Okay. Anusha, your turn.
I'll go for miscellaneous 100.
Yeah, dream big. Come on.
The Times Square of Ooty. Times Square. Why is it not coming to my head?
Come on, you're running out of time. You got
What
this.
is
It's very
Charing Cross?
Muthu said it just a moment
Oh,
ago.
okay. Thank God.
Okay, Anuja, you're back at a
I got
even zero.
okay, back to zero.
And Kushi, your turn.
For your eyes, 300.
The eyes, 300. Okay, now this is your visual cue. So the question is,
What is a Toda headman? Who is a Toda headman, or what is the Toda headman?
Is that your final answer? He said, okay, he said Toda. Unfortunately, the answer is Badagas. Oof, there's a twist in the tail. Guys, Koshi's at minus 100, guys. This is our only opportunity.
So at the end of round 2, the scores are Koshi at minus 100, Anuja at 0, Muthu at 400, and Boman at 300. There's still a round to go, so there's still a lot that can happen. Let's start with Anuja this time.
Oh, me. Okay. I'll go for food 300.
Food 300. Okie dokie. We're all on the screen, right? Okay. Oh, this is going to be tough. Okay. 13A.
13A.
Koshi knows.
Yeah, I know Koshi knows.
I don't have a clue.
Does it pass?
Think where you go to eat.
Does it pass?
Can you hear?
No, there are no passes.
Okay,
fine.
I pass.
Okay, fine.
Pass,
Now that
pass.
nobody will get the points, does anybody know what 13A means?
Yes,
What
it
is
is item on
chicken and
TikTok's menu list.
Wow.
What is chili
Chicken. That's right.
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a pretty tough one. We all knew that this would be a wider.
I just said two times.
Chicken and shinkos. Oh my God. Okay.
Great. Okay. We're back at Muthu.
For your eyes, 200.
Okay. So the quest. Oh, fudge cakes. Okay, guys. So this is the picture, right? 1 second. Give me just one moment.
I know it. I'll tell you. What is Monsters?
Okay. I wasn't supposed to show you the name St. Stephen's.
The Stephen's Church is there, and the big store over there is Mullins. No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. This is a problem, but since it was my fault, I will give it to you. I'm really sorry. This was a mistake on my end.
I get 3 points.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really sorry, guys. This wasn't an intentional act. Okay. And now Baman.
Okay, so if I have to tie with Muthu, I need at least 300. And if I chunk it, I get 0, in which case I'm still number 2. So I'll go miscellaneous 300.
Yes, he's going big. A view to Hollywood. Ooty Outing. Remember, that's the theme.
Assembly halls. What is assembly halls?
Oh,
Assembly
wow.
rooms. Okay, assembly rooms.
Yeah, he said assembly rooms. I'll give it to him. Not bad. Okay, so that leaves these two tied at 600. And Koshi, your time to redeem yourself, to not come last.
Sorry. Yeah, 200 miscellaneous.
Yeah, we rocked it at Monarch, the Fernhills Palace, and the Taj. We rocked it at Monarch, the Fernhills Palace.
What is the OL dinner? What is the OL place for the OL dinner? OL Dance and Dinner.
Well done.
Dinner and
Oh,
Dance.
wow, that was I really thought people wouldn't get this one.
But we are dealing with,
HTK. Oh, wow. All right. That was a quick one. And barring, I think, my slight quest framing error, I think this is a pretty good round. I hope you all had fun. Did we have fun, guys?
Yes, it was fun.
Definitely.
So let me read out the final scores. The final scores stand at Koshi at 100, Anuja at -300, Muttu at 600, and Bowman at 600. So we have
a tie.
We have a tie.
It took two to beat Koshi, but we finally did it, guys. Congratulations. Congratulations, both of you. And that brings us to the end of our July Quizdale. And if you want to participate and be a winner of this fun game, or if you'd like to be a sponsor, please write to us at olalovedale@gmail.com. I repeat, at olalovedale@gmail.com. And to all of you and our audience, take care, stay safe, and please enjoy the rest of the OL assembly.
That was definitely a fun segment. What a quiz. I'm sure all of us were trying to answer the questions as and when they were being asked. And oh my God, not getting 13A right. Not done. Let's have a look at the leaderboard and see who's leading at the moment. Wow, Vindhya in the lead, Sumeru a very close second, Arvi and Nilgiris, yeah, we can do better. So guys, this is how it stands as of now, but I think we definitely need more participation. Don't you want to see your houses there right on top? So please do participate in the quiz, and all you need to do to participate is just write in an email to olalovedale@gmail.com. Yeah, please participate, put your houses right up there. Okay, so coming up next, we would like to showcase some talent there is an abundance of talent in Old Laurentians. Next is a musical talent. And this, we would like to welcome Suraj Rajan from the batch of 2013 to please sing us a song, which I'm sure all of us are familiar with.
All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morning. The taxi's waiting, it's blowing its horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could cry. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down, so many times I've played around, but now I tell you they don't mean a thing. Every place I go I think of you, and every song I sing for you. When I come back I'll wear you a wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go, but now the time has come to leave you. One more time, let me kiss you. Close your eyes and I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come when we don't have to be alone. About those times when I don't have to say, kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go.
Thank you, Suraj, for singing that lovely song for us. It was so nice to listen to you. So thank you once again. Right. So moving on, folks. We're going to be starting a new feature. It's going to be called OLs in feature. Right now, what does it even mean? We get people who are old Laurentians who come and who've contributed or who have something unique to the theme. Right. So this month we are featuring Nitin Shivashankar from the batch of 2002. Now, and this theme this time is going to be called Love Thy Neighbor. Now, why is it called Love Thy Neighbor? Is because Nitin's family is a family it's called the Bolingaya family, and they live bordering school. How nice it would be to get up every morning and out of the bedroom window and look at school campus. That's how they live. So they've Nitin and his family and his friends have come together and shared some lovely memories about just living close to school and about Ooty outings and how fun it was. So let's sit back and enjoy this segment.
Given that I come from a family that grew up so close to the school, a lot of my uncles, a lot of my aunts, everybody went to the same school.
Our daughter RP, class of 1999, and son Nitin, class of 2002, are second generation Laurentians from Borlingaya family, 5 sisters and 2 brothers who studied and passed out from Lawrence between 1951 and 1971. Being born and brought up in the Nilgiris and living just across the Lovedale Lake Valley. And Bigil, the school campus and Bigil is visible in the background. Our obvious choice for the children's education was Lawrence.
Very often in these kind of places, the school and its activity becomes the definition of an area, right? So if Ooty is kind of boarding school education reputation, by and large, it really meant Lawrence School for a very long time. And I don't know if many of you know that the school bakery actually was a commercial bakery at a point in time. I was a baker who worked in the school right from my father's time, and I remember, we used to. I remember going up to Bacha telling me about all those times, and then and in school we were always hungry, right? So we used to always hang around near the bakery, and I remember kind of cashing in on that familiarity and getting some cakes and stuff like that from him. And of course, you eventually had to tip the the bakers, because that familiarity only went so far. And after a certain point, you had to give something else up to get something. But it was these kind of things, that people remembered you from the generations past, right from my granddad's time. I remember one time, looking through Kitchen Square, I actually found between the bricks my father's name written over there and his batch thing. And I was like, wow, there is a bit of graffiti that actually survived for that many, for about 50 long years. If you think of the school experience, one of the things that comes across for every generation is probably the outings. And and the kind of outings that we used to go for. Think about the 90s, the kind of, let's say, the outing pocket money that we were given. I don't think it was ever sufficient. Yeah, I think we used to get $50, and even now it is downright ridiculous. But I think back then itself, it was just not enough.
We had $25 when we were in prep school, and they would send us to Ooty, and we didn't really do much. I mean, get on half an hour. And but we found a way around it, didn't we? I mean, we asked our parents to drop a line of credit in the major hotspots in town, and we would go there and we would take money from them and do stuff. But the major blessing out of all this was we had Nitin by our side, and he had his house there, and his parents were there, and we would just follow the railway tracks to his place and eat all the time, and that was brilliant.
And I don't know if you guys remember this store called Shivani's and all that. And it used to be quite popular. To just, it was one of the only supermarkets in Ooty at that time. And guys used to go there to get stuff, various knickknacks and snacks and all that. And it turns out that the owner was a relative of mine. We knew things. So whenever I used to turn up, and they'd be like, "Hey, Nitin, what's up?" and all that. And you go in there and I used to pick up stuff, and he'd be like, "No, don't worry about it. I'll put it in your tab." So that is how outings were, right? You made things work. You somehow knew, everybody knew some store owner somewhere. And I think a lot of my friends were from Coimbatore, Karthik and Harsha and SP for that matter. I do remember Karthik had a couple of accounts here and there in a couple of places where we could just go and pick up stuff. And similarly, I used to have accounts at things. So that's what outings really meant. You didn't really have enough resources, but you could reach out to a couple of places and get at least get a decent meal and get some other stuff that you wanted, whatever that you had think. So yeah, that's what outings were like.
When I think of Nitin, it brings back a flood of memories. He's probably one of my oldest friends, and him and his family have been an integral part of my Lovedale experience, all the way from Lena School all through Lawrence. One of my fondest memories have been bunking school and going and visiting his folks and being fed delicious food by his mother. He's one of the most kind, caring, gentle person I've met in Lawrence, and without him, my experience wouldn't have been the same.
We used to bunk off to get food and get whatever, and spend some time at home, just chill and forget about it. And I remember, there were even summers. I don't know if in school during summer there used to be severe water shortage. So baths were like once in 2-3 days and stuff like that. So I remember even bunking home just to go have a bath. So, and a couple of guys I remember dragging along. Nari, I'm sure, I vaguely remember, and maybe Milap. I think we all just went home, and all we did was, had a bath, had some food, coffee, and we got back. We went. I think the pool used to be just operational for a couple of hours then. And we used to just, have a swim, go have a bath, go home, have a bath, and get back to school by around 8:39. So that I don't know if anybody, would have that kind of a story. Just bunking to have a bath, stuff like that. But yeah, that was good memory back in school. Being in school, you end up talking about it a lot. You end up bringing up the same stories to the point that your spouses or whoever, they're like, dude, why are you going on talking about the same things? But I think that kind of highlights what it is to go through a boarding school, because those memories become so deep within you that you just keep bringing it up all the time. And people around you just can't understand why anymore. They're like, why is this? And even my wife, we've been negotiating about putting our kids to be, in Lawrence. And this is a conversation we had so many times on what's good, what's bad, and all that. And sometimes, she's like, I get it. I know you guys had a lot of fun, but why? I just don't understand how you guys can just talk about the same thing and be so attached to it. That's what it meant, being so close to the school, as well as it having such a deep history and such a long past. And one thing that is really amazing about school is the kind of networks that we form. The people that we reach out to, and the alumni network is extremely strong. There are a lot of people that you reach out to, and the moment you bring up your school connection, and it suddenly gives you that much more connect, and there's a lot that you can leverage, and that is what it really means to be an OL, right? You recognize yourself in somebody else, you recognize a part of you in somebody else, and that connection is what makes all of that so special and valuable. And that is something that you need to keep alive, right? And whenever you call upon it, it's there for you.
It's a wonderful feeling to see Nitin fulfill his dreams of starting his own company. I can never forget the time when he had completed his PhD and was deciding against a good offer from Philips over starting something on his own. He has always been an adventurous person. He has always had a wide range of interests that he has pursued from his school days that has given him a broader perspective and a fine balance in life. We are forever grateful for having been a part of Lawrence School Lovedale that has shaped our lives.
All our family members are proud of Nitin, right from his coming first in CBSE 12th Science Group to his Best Thesis Award from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and starting of his own company, Mimic.
I was very happy when Nitin received the Best Thesis Award for Computer Science. Next day when I saw his photograph in the newspapers, along with 16 others, and the late past President, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, I felt happier. Credit goes to God's grace, Nitin's hard work, and the teachers and the institutions which nurtured him, especially the teachers of Lawrence School Lovedale, Indian Institute of Science, and Manipal Institute of Technology. My sincere thanks to one and all who have indirectly or directly encouraged him in his endeavour.
Awesome. Many generations of Laurentians all featured there. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And can you even imagine being living bordering Lawrence School? Awesome. This is a new section that we had introduced. I'm sure you'll all enjoyed it. Please do leave your comments. And now coming up in the next section is something that I completely love. It's fun, it's crazy, and I'm sure it's taken a lot of work by the OE group. OE being Over Enthoo Group, yeah? Now, this is a parody on Down Under by Men at Work. So presenting to you To Ooty with Love, Dale.
Traveling in a Badagawandi, wearing home clothes and not khaki. Can buy taco, watch a movie, with money, sweet pocket money.
And I say,
I come from the land of Lovedale. Morning run in the drizzling rain. Can you hear the kids wail? The air is fresh, the buns are so stale. Ooty outing on Sunday, railroad walking all the way. Shinkas, blue hills, Okunjis, Wackadosa with some chutney.
and I say,
I'm going to the land of Ooty, where I'm sure to enjoy plenty. Will you buy me a tutti frutti? Maybe jab cakes or some nutties.
And I say,
I'm going to the land of Ooty. One day free from fatigue duty. Will you buy me a tutti frutti? Kingstar chocolates or some nutties?
and I say,
I come from the land of Lovedale. I don't care if the bun is stale. I can play with the falling hail. I come from the land of Lovedale.
I mean, had so much of fun watching that OE song. I mean, when we put it together, we did not know that it's going to turn out to be so much of fun. So it is lovely, and I hope all of you enjoyed that too. Right. So moving on to the next segment, we're going to be moving on to the last compilation of the OL Memory Lane, where OLs have answered questions on one word to describe Ooty. And another question that they've also answered together is Ooty then and now. So take your pick, Ooty then or now. But let's watch the memory lane.
One word or line to describe Ooty.
Ooty is basically home, my second home.
Nostalgia.
I'd say childhood, because I've spent my entire childhood and quite a bit of my adulthood as well there.
Ooty then versus now.
I must confess, when I compare the lake area or the Ooty market of today with the school trips, sadly, the whole area has changed for worse. Congested and dirty. I wish we could bring back our old Ooty of our school days.
Then, of course, I miss the small town charm and warmth of the place. It was different being in Ooty as a child with big outing dreams and minuscule amount as Poco, dreaming of eating at Shinko's and catching a movie at Assembly Hall.
Yes, I prefer the old Ooty. Less people. Today it's congested, you can hardly even walk.
I would say Ooty then any day. And I'm sure everybody says, oh, back in the good old days, but it's truly back in the good old days. I think it's very crowded, very commercial. Like if you enter Ooty now, when you're coming from the Fun City junction, when you're coming all the way, it's like a massive highway now. It's like a 4-lane, 6-lane kind of look to it now, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it was a simpler time back then, and I think a hill station needs to be simpler. If it's a city, it gets fancy, I understand, I think. But yeah, I would definitely take those days because it was a lot simpler, a lot calmer, more peaceful. So yeah, Ooty then.
And that was the third and final part of the compilations. You know what they bring to my mind, folks. A bit of a confession to make, Ash and Vinod. I don't think I've really ever been to Shinko's.
Really?
Heart on hand. Hand on heart, I mean. I don't think so. Ash, I'm so sorry. I know it's your favorite place. Maybe I've been there.
It's sacrilege.
Maybe I've been there for my 10th reunion, and I know, sorry, it is sacrilege, but maybe that's cause to go back. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So next time you're in Ooty, you know where to go. If not anywhere else, whether you go to school or not, you go to Shinko's. Okay. So that's your target for 2022, probably, or whenever you get to go back to Ooty. So Ash, you've been a co-host in this. So how was your experience? Tell us.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, Karishma, and the rest of the team for inviting me. I had a fantastic experience as being the guest host. And honestly, I wouldn't mind coming back again at some point in time. Folks, there is a lot of hard work being put in by this team. A lot of follow-up, a lot of putting together. They're really working hard. So I would like to give it up for this entire team. I would like to thank you for inviting me. And I also want to encourage the rest of the Old Law community to please come forward and be a guest host. It is great fun. And to do that, all you need to do is just write in an email to olalovedale@gmail.com. So come, have fun with these guys, and you won't regret it. Thank you very much again, Karishma, and the entire team.
Well, we just absolutely adored having you on. Thank you so much for being here. And we'd absolutely love to have you on again. Now, folks, don't forget, we've got a little bit of a special thing for you at the end, so do stick around. But before we go into that, Vinod, tell us what's up, what's coming up next in terms of events, and where can people find us?
Yeah. So before I get into what's happening next, if any of your friends tell you that, oh, I missed the outing special, what do you go tell them? Log on to Facebook, YouTube pages, and search for the OL Association page, and there you have it. Not just this edition, all the previous editions of the OL Assembly are right up there. So sit back, enjoy the fun, and stay safe. What's coming up next? 2 weeks from now, OL Nation. So tune into that. Watch out for the announcements on that, and do tune in. And the next OL Assembly, 14th of August. Imagine, one day before Indian independence. So all Laurentians tune into the OL Assembly and then go enjoy your independence the next day. So thank you all so much, and good evening.
Okay, guys. So as promised, stick around. We've got something special at the end, as always. If you've tuned in before, you probably know what this is, but we've got a fun little credit roll to just show you the faces of the human beings behind this show, we put together, with love, sweat, and tears, bring you this show. So have a look at the cute little faces, because we also show you little faces when they were back in school. So that's a fun little one. So enjoy the credit roll. Till then, we'll see you next time. Thank you all for joining us once again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye-bye.